Oh wow, once again we meet here at the Baron's Corner, of course under God's green earth. Unfortunately guys, you're killing it and it's bad. But anyways, hello people, hello guys, wherever you are, whichever time it is, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. I don't know where you are, but I hope you're doing really great. This is the Baron's Corner once again, and today we are honored and privileged to host a guy I'll describe as, which words are the best to describe him? A combination of sophistication, elegance, and of course charm. This is Mr. University of Nairobi. We host him here today at the Baron's Corner, and we're so glad to have him. That is Mr. Harmaton Sila. This great guy, great gentleman, he walks with some pride. And of course, as you can see, as you will see in some few minutes, he's a guy who is actually an icon of fashion and all that stuff. And we speak to him about his journey, making it all the way from growing up in Mombasa, coming all the way to Nairobi city, to making it to the University of Nairobi, the largest university in Eastern and Central Africa. It's an amazing experience, an amazing thing, and we are so much honored as the Baron's Corner to have him here today. And I hope by the end of this conversation, you will be so much inspired, and I hope that I will be inspired too. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Asante sana.
Yeah. You grew up in the coast, and I'm tempted to switch to some Kiswahili, bro.
Tunaweza ongea Kiswahili. You know this is Kenya bana.
It's just that my Kiswahili is so bad. I grew up in Nandi, and so you can tell. Let's go down to, maybe you can tell people who you are exactly. You know, I've tried my best, but you can give a detailed introduction of yourself.
Well, Mr. UN is a simple guy. He goes by the name Harmaton Sila. And this is a third-year student, literature major at the University of Nairobi, who hails from the Faculty of Education, Kikuyu campus. And as I said, I'm a simple guy with complex.
You know, you don't put simplicity and modeling together. Most models are not really, you cannot describe them as simple. How comes you're describing yourself as simple? You know, models are these fashion icons that we know out here.
Before you cut me off, you see, I said I'm a simple guy, but with complex personalities.
Yeah. Even your statements are complex already. Sila, let's come down to, you're a model. You're Mr. University of Nairobi. What inspired you to being one?
Actually, I wouldn't say that I was directly inspired by anybody in particular, but ever since I grew up, I always wanted to be someone big. I always wanted to make the change that I feel that the world needed through my point of view. And I'm a lover of fashion, design, and I love runways. So I found the niche where I could actually communicate to people in the best way I could. So I ventured into modeling at a really young age. Actually, I think after 18 years, I was like so interested in this modeling industries.
So basically when you were stepping into the university.
Yeah.
Because that age is a time when someone is transitioning to the university.
Correct.
Yeah.
So when I entered the University of Nairobi, some friends of mine were like, man, Sila, you know, you can hit the runway. There's this thing that is called Mr. and Miss University of Nairobi. Can you try it out? And you know, at that point I was like, so nini kwani, you get. So I went on and researched about it, and I realized that it was something that, you know, I could actually do, and it's in line with what I like. You see. And also being Mr. University of Nairobi is not something small. So it was something that I really needed to prepare
for. That point, being Mr. University of Nairobi is not something small. Tell us how it feels to be Mr. University of Nairobi. You know, University of Nairobi is the largest university, the university in Eastern and Central Africa. And now being the brand, the big brand, the face of the university.
Jina kubwa sana. Actually, it's a humbling experience, I would say. And it comes with a lot of weight. Because, as you said, I'm in the University of Nairobi. And you know how people perceive us outside there. We are big name, and the University of Nairobi itself is a big brand. And you know, for you to be representing a brand, it takes a lot of your energy, time, and not to mention attention. It takes away a lot from you. Actually, I can say it's not something easy. It's not for the faint-hearted, because you get to a level of fame that not many people are complacent with. You see,
we will come to that point of being famous and getting the top and sustaining yourself there, and how people perceive you and versus your reality in life. You're top there, you're Mr. UN, everyone thinks this guy is moneyed, this guy must be driving a Benz.
I know.
I
know.
We'll come down to that one, but before we get there, maybe someone there thinks and says, towards Mr. UN, what does it entail? Like, what it is to be Mr. UN, what does it entail exactly? What is your job in the university?
Basically, being Mr. University of Nairobi is, in simple terms, being the student ambassador of the University of Nairobi globally. So basically, you are required to represent the University of Nairobi wherever student leaders are present. You see, I always say that being Mr. University of Nairobi is accurately representing the heart of the leadership sector when it comes to the student body. And Mr. University of Nairobi is the bridge that comes in between two entities. One, the student fraternity, represented by UNSA, which is the University of Nairobi Student Association, the leaders, under the leadership of His Excellency, our President, Rocha. Mazao Rocha. So I am the bridge that gaps these two bodies, the UNSA, the students, and the corporate, which is comprising of the leaders from the Chancellor to the VC, to the DVC, and so on and so forth, not forgetting the Dean of Africa, Mr. Johnson Ireri Quinua. And I'm going to bridge we call it what's it called? The University of Nairobi Alumni Association. And corporates that are, working hand in hand with the University of Nairobi. So basically, I'm that bridge,
the bridge, in short,
in between those two. You see,
Now you've come a long way. Wewe ni mtu umetoka kule Coast. Ukiwa Coast, umegrow up Coast, umekuja, umeingia high school, umeingia primary kwanza, umeingia high school, umeingia chuo kikuu. Then you made it to the university. I'm sure there is a journey, there's a story behind it. And maybe kuna mtu pale in the villages in Nandi County, maybe, or in Elgeyo Marakwet, or somewhere in Nyeri. They are thinking of, how do I make it? Labda wako pale, they want to listen to your story. They want to be inspired by your journey getting up to the University of Nairobi, and making it to be Mr. UN. So let's get down to back in the days. How did you make it? Did you ever think that you'd be here? You'd be Mr. University of Nairobi?
Honestly speaking, I never thought that I would be the Mr. University of Nairobi. But I always knew in my heart that I would be someone big in life. And I've always wanted to be an ambassador. And this is something that, has really opened my doors in line with my dreams. Because I have always wanted to be an ambassador of another Kenya to another country. You get?
This will get to President Ruto.
President Ruto, consider me.
The appointments were done the other day.
Exactly,
You're qualified.
And I'm really eloquent in French, so you can consider me.
Specifically France. Or any French-speaking nation.
Exactly. So as I was saying, I was growing up. Actually, I came from a really humble background. I would say the humblest you can get, because I remember I was raised by a single mother. God rest her soul in peace. My late mother, Esther Malundato, she's a beacon of hope that I have had ever since I was born, because single-handedly she raised us up, me and my brother, before my sister came in. And through poverty, through primary school, I went to Gomura Junior Academy, then moved to Miritini World Bank Primary School, there in Miritini, Mombasa. Studied there, did my KCSE, passed, but lacked school fee for high school. I think I joined Form 1 some private school in Jomvu, kwa Jomvu. I think people know, from Mombasa people know.
People from the coast.
Yeah, it's called Alpha Senior School. Then because of fee, I stayed away from school for like half a year. Then got a scholarship under the Wilfred Life Foundation for 2 years, where I studied in JCC complex. I studied Form 1 again, went to Form 2, then I moved to a school called Pwani Secondary School. I was, sponsored under the administration of Mrs. Jen Sila, and I really appreciate her because she took me to a school where I completed my high school. It's called Vuluweni.
So you attended 2 different schools in high school?
Not 2. If you're counting properly, it's about 4.
Oh my God. And that's just high school?
That's just high school. That shows you how I was struggling financially. You know, because you could get a scholarship that lasted you like 2 years. That's in JCC. I studied for 2 years. But remember, before I joined JCC, I was joining Form 1 in Alpha Senior School. Therefore, I had to repeat so I can start over afresh, you know. So that's the second school I've mentioned. Then I went to Pwani High School, where I was. That's the third one. I joined Form 3 there. Then I moved to Vuluweni in Ukambani.
That is in Form 4 now?
That's in Form 4. Some place in Sultan Hamoud. It's a very wonderful place to be. I'm telling you, that place has top-notch teachers.
The Hamoud now?
Yeah, the Hamoud. So I studied there in Form 4, did my KCSE, passed, and I was...
Before we get to your KCSE, I'm so much interested. First of all, may your mother's soul rest in peace.
Thank you.
Then let's come down to, you moved to different schools through high school. Bro, that's a big thing. Me, I only attended one school.
Let me tell you, it's not a big thing. It's not a big thing. It's really difficult.
Didn't you feel like giving up, like moving from one different place to another? Didn't you feel like giving up in your process of doing all this?
Let me tell you, I felt like giving up a million times. But each and every time I wanted to give up, I just told myself, you know what, Harmaton, you're gonna be a big person. You're gonna get there. Utaenda university. Actually, I'm the first person in my family to go to university. The first boy to go to university. Wow. So it's a very big thing in my family. And that lone thing of you'll be a big person. You'll be a big person. I always wanted to be a lawyer. You see? So nilikuwa nasema lazima nikuwe lawyer. Lazima niingie university. And I'm one step closer to that.
You're here at the University of Nairobi. How did you make it now to pass your exams after all those circumstances and make it to the university?
Let me tell you, it wasn't easy. But as I told you, I was a really bright mind. I appreciate God for that because kusema kweli kama singekuwa na hii akili kiasi singeweza, because getting people to sponsor you is not easy. To support you academically. So I really had to work hard and smart academically. So I was always in my books. And as much as nikirudi nyumbani, because it was boarding school, ukirudi nyumbani unaangalia state of the life, unaangalia kidogo inakuambia my friend, ufai kuwa hapa, tafuta pesa, amka asubuhi. I used to wake up early in the morning in JCC High School at around 3 a.m. And those people who know, JCC complex is a school inside a church. JCC. So so when you wake up in the morning, I use this strategy I used to use. Watu wengine walikuwa wanaweka sijui maji nini, mimi nilikuwa naenda kwa slab. Slabs are these things that are like balconies. So you stand there, you put your book and you start, as you read, you're taking note so you don't sleep. So the chief pastor, Deacon Bishop Lai, used to come with his V8 and hapo kuna ka fountain. So for him to park, he has to pass through that fountain. I mean nilikuwa hapo. So for me that was like fulfillment. I was like, one day I'll drive that V8. You get? So standing there was a beacon of hope for me as I read at 3 a.m. in the morning.
Wow. Your story is so inspirational and so touching, Harmaton. actually it's the side of the story mimi I've never heard of. Or mimi nikipatana nayo hapo nje I think no, this guy is huge. This guy is huge. These are huge guy. These are someone of class and stuff. But nobody really gets to listen to these stories and to know. But I'm very sure someone out there is so much inspired by your story that they see you this way right now. They don't know there's the backstory behind you, but now they know.
Sometimes I like the fact that, you know, this song that Sauti Sol sang, I wish you could rewind so that people can see the story behind the glory. You see people now, they just see the glory. They see you shining. They will see you on the road and they're like, Harmaton, transact, Mr. UN, do this, do this. But they don't know that there is a story behind this glory. You know, so it's good that you're having this session so that they can be informed.
People, I'm sure so many people are getting inspired. You made it to the University of Nairobi. Now let's talk about it. You step at the University of Nairobi. How was the experience, and how now the people you met that had you mentioned friends? Friends are the one who told you, hey, Harmaton, you can make it to be Mr. UN. Get into this thing. How was it? How did you make your decision? And how, maybe tell us about how the day now that it came up for you to compete to become Mr. UN. How did you build up to that? It takes a lot of resources, a lot of money, a lot of input and a lot of investments to become the investment.
First of all, I wanted to shout out to my mentor in the field of modeling and trainer. His name is Mr. Untamed Kenya. That's his most recent title, Dan Makenye. Shout out to him for training me to work as a model, and also for helping me in the nitty-gritties that I needed so that I can be in that runway. And you asked about the, you know, how I came to be. Actually, it was one lovely afternoon. We were eating at, I think it was Kwamushai. So we were with three ladies. One, Melvin Chero, her Cherono, actually there were four. Bironga Faith, and this name keeps on skipping my name, but her name is Chemutai. So you know, unajua venye
how your name speaks the Rift Valley.
Most of them are Kalenjins. You see, I don't know, I have a thing with Kalenjins. They always love me. Niko na nyota huko bro. Itabidi niangalie vizuri. Wakale, nyinyi watu wa maana sana. Anyway, as I was saying, so we were eating with them. I think we were from class, you know, we were from the same class. So tulienda hapo tukakula, and all of a sudden nikaambiwa, by the way, Hama unakaanga vizuri nini. So unajua kuna event ya Mr. and Miss UN. So jaribu kuwe Mr. Kikuyu kabisa. Walianza hivyo. Mr. Kikuyu. Tukaangalia hivi kidogo, nikapiga mahesabu, nikasema looks kiasi iko sawa. Bado sasa niingia sasa nijue ni nini. You know, being Mr. University of Nairobi is not all about pageantry. You see people, they just say he attended a runway, a pageant, a runway, he won, and now he's Mr. University of Nairobi. It's not. They actually should know that it's a combination of many things that are, you know, you have to apply. It's like a job application, you know. After applying, they got your IQ through different tests and, you know, questions and answers. You know, after that, you now go for auditions. After auditions, you pass. After passing, now you go for training. My friend, we were taken for training that is equivalent to that of Reke Squad. The only thing is that we were not fighting.
There were no vocals.
3 weeks. Each and every day, I remember I used to wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning.
To get to the training site.
To go to main campus. Unaona? So I can be there by 7. Unaamka, unapiga sala, kama you're eating, you do some exercise hapa na pale, you do some note taking for the previous day, unaona? So that you can travel all the way to town. Unaona? And then when you're there, you go to the field. You make 15 good laps. 15. Oh my goodness.
So all this training came up zilikuja, but I'm sure kulikuwa na a lot of investment here in terms of money.
Exactly.
Moving on from Kikuyu to main campus, all that, you're using your money.
I'm telling you, let me advise you. You should have good friends. Friends who will be there for you in events or occasions that you need them. I'm telling you, for me to be able to step in that runway and just, you know, be ready for Mr. and Miss University of Nairobi, I had to spend over 100 Kenyan shillings.
Oh my God.
100,000 Kenya shillings.
For real?
For real.
1,100 bro.
Na hiyo ni on the lower end. People won't believe it. People won't believe it. And let me tell you, sijui hiyo pesa ilitoka wapi.
But people just came in
and that is just the preparation. It's not about the day. That's
itself.
the preparation.
Of the day now.
Not even the dressing code that caters for transport. You know, nitty-gritties like fare, nini, to communicate, to do this, to source for, you know, designer outfits, to go and get like diplomatic training on how you speak, how you walk.
How did it feel being on the runway, and how does it feel being on any other runway maybe?
Actually, you get goosebumps, honestly. I remember that day we had over 6,000 people in attendance. Hey, all those people screaming your name. You literally feel like, hey.
Unaweza anguka ukisonga.
Bana. So you need a certain level of composure, which I thank God I was trained for. Because in the 3 weeks we had a supermodel training us. His name is Michael Musyoka. And he really trained us on these things, you know. We had intense walks, intense Q&A sessions. We had, you know, like effective ways of communicating when you are like circumnavigated by many people. To that extent.
Coming to that point of people and the scrutiny that comes from people and being in the limelight, like how do you handle people when, you know, wanasema nani amanza kunona na yeye ni model, amanza sijui kufanya nini na yeye ni model, or sijui dressing code imefanya nini? How do you handle all that, the comments from people and maintaining your image?
Let me tell you something. As a model, you have to be ready for constructive criticism. It's really something that you have to be mentally prepared for. And you always ought to take positively whatever people tell you, and, you know, work on how to better yourself. These are things that you can get a hard time facing. But I recommend people should read the book on constructive criticism so that they can be able to, you know how to handle such.
Let's come to, we've seen you handle that. Let's come down to now the people that maybe didn't make it to become these models, or someone who is aspiring to become the next year's 2025 2026 Mr. UON. What will you tell them? What's your advice, and how are you trying to help them currently as Mr. UON?
Actually, I would advise people to always soar above their limitations. Aim for the moon so that you can land on the stars. Honestly speaking, dreams are valid, and you should work towards your dream. I remember on the onset of the year 2023, I wrote down my dream board, and one of the things that I really wanted to achieve was to become Mr. UON, and I did each and everything that is there to be done so that I can be that. So for you to be able to be whatever you want to be, just write it down first on paper. Even the good book of the Lord says that you should write down your dreams and visions so that people can delight on it. You get? So when you write it down, now you start working on it. Research. Try and know what it takes to be a mister, what it takes to be a miss, what it takes to run pageantry, what it takes to be a public figure, so that you can be able to be prepared psychologically for these things.
So all that you're telling them to put effort and not leave anything, any stone unturned in their journey to becoming whatever they want to be.
Yes.
And, maybe as we wind up this discussion and this interview, maybe we come down to kila mtu hapa nje anajua Mr. UON, na kila mtu anataka ku identify na wewe. It's be the guys or the girls, maybe the ladies out here, you're in campus and you're Mr. UON. All the ladies want to be near you, maybe. Like, that's the feeling, right? How do you handle that? And maybe do you have a private life that you maybe categorize that inaisha hapa na inaisha hapa?
Nothing I
How
can.
do you handle your DMs, bro?
Hey man, the DMs are flooded, honestly speaking, and I thank God for that, because through that I get connection. Keep on texting, I don't mind. I always respond to them, but I have boundaries, you see, because I know what I want in this industry, and I'm not there for sale or for anybody.
So, do you have a private life? Like, you know what I mean? Do you have a girlfriend, and are you in a relationship maybe?
Let's keep it private. I prefer confidentiality in matters like this. As a public figure, I don't like disclosing such matters.
Okay.
But all I can say is I'm a normal human being who shares a normal lifestyle. And a student too. So
that was so smart of you, but that's nice, and we respect that. We respect your privacy. And maybe now, what will you tell anyone out there? Maybe kuna mtu anakucrush hapo nje mzee.
Mazee, kama nikrashia mimi nakupenda sana.
Unawapenda wote.
Nakupenda sana. Honestly speaking, I share the love of Christ too. Yeah.
That's where I was coming. The love of Christ.
Yeah, by the way, I identify with Christianity. Honestly speaking, I really value the morals that I was given by my mother, birth mother, and spiritual mother, and also, I really want to say thanks to the people who worked hand in hand in giving me the upright upbringing, because I remember I was a church boy. I was raised in the church. So I will always identify with Christianity boldly.
So you're born again and stuff. And let's come down to finalizing this interview, coming to an end of it. Tell us there must be so many amazing things you've come across as a model, all through all these few months ago. You've been the Mr. University of Nairobi. What are some of the amazing moments you have come across?
Wow. I think each and every day that I live as Mr. University of Nairobi is a spectacular moment. But I really want to give a shout out to the outgoing president, Miss Monica Malit, for giving us the platform in Mombasa Beach Hotel to welcome the Vice Chancellor of the University of Nairobi. That was a golden opportunity for me. I really felt it was the first time I shook the hand of the Vice Chancellor. And the DVC too.
I never met him, so it's a privilege to shake your hand.
I'm telling you, it's a blessed feeling. You're shaking the hand of the Vice Chancellor, Mr. Stephen Kiama. You're shaking the hands of Professor Kerubo, the DVC. You're shaking the hand of our dean of our students, all faculties. Johnson Irori, my friend, it's a really good feeling. Just having the same platform, sitting in the same room. Man, you feel like you've made it in life.
That is one amazing moment. I can actually relate to it.
And also, working hand in hand with the UNSA, outgoing UNSA Council and the incoming UNSA Council. It's something that is really blessed. It's a privilege that not anyone has ever gotten in the history of the University of Nairobi. Because once you become an UNSA chairperson, maybe governor or president, when you're outgoing, you do not get the chance to, have or share the same platform with the incoming team. But that's something that the Mr. and Miss University of Nairobi are privileged to do. You see?
So we've seen you, mimi nimekuona ukiwa na watoto kule children's home, ukiwa hapa na pale. Maybe there is some of the programs you're running as Mr. UN on a personal level. What are these programs maybe?
First of all, I always wanted to begin a charity campaign, and Mr. and Miss University of Nairobi are all about giving back to the society. So I took the liberty of this title to begin my own non-profitable charity campaign called Endeleza Charity Campaign. You can look it up. I think it's on all platforms, on Instagram, TikTok, on IG, Google, Endeleza Charity Campaign. So it's basically focusing on 3 types of individuals in the world. 1, the orphan. 2, the refugee. And 3, the needy student. So basically what we do is helping the society to get to where it should be. I can see you have that passion in you, and the fact that how you grew up inspires you maybe to do all these things. Exactly. I grew up as a very poor boy. Honestly, even wearing I remember there was this time that kuna mtu aliniambia hii kitu. Mazewe ni kijana mfine lakini hauna nguo.
Hey bro. I feel it.
My friend, I was wearing like how street children wear. But the looks are there. You see, someone can see something in you. That's construction criticism. So I was like, oh my goodness, I want to take the positive part in this, but I'm working on the negative.
You're working on the
I'm working on the negative. So what I want is basically to provide basic essentials to the needy students all over Kenya and Africa and the world globally. You see, when we're speaking about quality food, nutrition, we're speaking about quality education, we're speaking about quality dressing, everything.
And everything.
Yeah, refugees, we want to take care of them. You see, through this initiative. So I'm actually calling upon, potential sponsors, people who are well wishers and are willing to, to support. You can channel your support to a number registered under Endeleza Charity Campaign. It's 0712 511 660.
0712 511 660.
Yeah,
that's it. Thank you so much. Maybe coming down to, I've seen your passion, we've listened to your story, an inspiring story, and I'm sure so many people out there are so motivated with it and they're so inspired, and I'm sure they will work hard to even become better. But maybe in future, are we seeing next year, the years coming, is Rotish going to host you in New York or somewhere else as Mr. Universe or something else? Or what are your aspirations in the future and stuff?
Let me tell you, when you speak to Harmaton, you're speaking to a dreamer.
Yeah,
I'm aiming high. Not just Mr. Universe, not just Mr. World Kenya. I'm going far. Yeah, and also I'm venturing into pageantry in the second level, in the higher level, which is high fashion. And I'm really gonna look forward to working with companies like Gucci, Fenty, Prada. Yeah.
So that's the dream.
That's the dream.
To be in the global stage.
Yeah. Apart from that, you see, I know that modeling is not gonna be my lifeline or my lifetime, a career. I really, really, really am looking forward to being an ambassador. So after this, I'm gonna venture into it fully, because being Mr. University of Nairobi means I'm the global student ambassador of the University of Nairobi.
Sure.
It's one step closer to my dream. So after which I'm going to aspire higher and be the ambassador of Kenya to a country
Thank
abroad.
you so much, Harmaton.
Probably France.
Yeah, probably France, because you know French already.
Yeah.
And we've given you a recommendation to Root already.
I hope he heard it.
Thank you so much, Harmaton. It's been a pleasure. It's been amazing having you at the Baron's Corner. And we hope that in the future we'll have you in those global stages, and we'll also get there together and we'll grow together. Thank you so much also for listening to us, for viewing our content and listening and commenting. Leave a comment down there, leave a like and subscribe to Legacy Media Official, and always tune in for our next content. It's been Sila Harmaton, the guy who's proved it all, a gentleman, a true icon of fashion and all that stuff. And from the story, you must be inspired. I am inspired.